to another World of Tanks subscriber replay. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's video is from the user Cocaine or Cock4in, depending on your preference. And he is driving the IS-3 on an encounter battle on Ruinberg. So just going to do what any good heavy tank should do and head off into the city to try and take up a position either watching the cap point or taking a look down one of the streets where the enemy should be approaching from. Now the Allies have decided to commit quite a lot of forces to this right-hand flank, which a lot of people tend to do in this game, and it's a good idea to send some forces on the right-hand flank just to try and contain the enemy, as if the enemy is a bit stupid they will commit quite a large force to the right-hand flank. But as you can see by that spotting done by the medium tank, the enemy's been quite smart and just committed tank destroyers to that right-hand flank to try and stop anybody pushing through the little village. So pretty smart on their part. So our man just going to be taking a position overlooking the cap point here. As you can see, he's got a good view of most of it. Probably going to have a shot at this IS-3. He's just going to come steaming round the corner, not really paying much attention to anything, hoping that he could get to that advanced position without taking any damage. Unfortunately, he takes a big shot in his side for his trouble. And what was that? That was a T-21 having a go at the IS-3, but not having enough power to get through that armour. So just going to sit here, focus his gun on that area, and hope that the T-21 pokes himself around. Unfortunately, he's probably a little too smart for that. And our man takes a couple of hits in his front armour, probably from a hidden tank destroyer. So this IS-3 is actually doing a pretty good job of keeping everybody around the corner pushed up. So our man just going to poke around, have a good shot at his rear, and then fall back before the enemy can get any damage back on him, because they really need to take that guy out so that they can take charge of this area. Just trying to hide his rear armour. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough, as the IS-3 has a bit of a beast cannon and will be able to penetrate him no matter how well he angles that rear armour. Hopefully he can reload before he gets a shot at him. Not quite. Takes a good chunk of damage and loses his track in the process. Luckily though, he's got a pretty speedy repair going on there and should be able to get himself out and get a shot on this KV-13. Oh, not quite. Oh yes. Luckily his ally taking out the truck and absolutely amazingly managed to set him on fire and take him out. So for the cost of a 3,000 credit fire extinguisher, getting himself eliminated from the game. I never understand why people don't invest in fire extinguishers, because yes, they are 3,000 credits, but if you don't have one and you get set on fire, then you're almost certainly out of the game. So just going to spin himself around, because he's fairly confident that the enemy isn't going to push up through the cap point and get any armour pointed at his rear, so that he can come up and have a shot at this KV-3. His KV-3 is notoriously difficult to shift, as it has pretty good front armour and a decent cannon. Has the same cannon that the KV-1S can equip, so you know that one has 175 average penetration and 390 damage. So if he's able to get a penetrating hit on you, he's going to do some serious damage. So just hoping that his allies can keep the enemy pinned down so that nobody comes at him from the rear. Just waiting for this KV-3 to make a mistake or take his gun off target so that he can get a shot on him. He's telling the Caernarvon to go just because he's got a hell of a lot more hit points, because if the IS-3 goes around the corner like this, he'll be presenting his front armour with that flat bit, meaning that it's almost certainly going to be a penetrating hit. The KV-3 playing it very smart here, able to get a hit on the IS-3 and then fall back without getting any return damage. Unfortunately, he's probably going to take a hit here for his trouble, as his gun wasn't out far. He wasn't able to get his gun on target. So it looks like an IS-3's come up to support the KV-3. Probably going to be able to get... Oh, totally rushed that one. Took a hit in his side and then fired at the ground. After taking the hit in the side, he should have realised that there wasn't going to be anything coming after that, and should have just taken his time with his shot. So it looks like one of their medium tanks, who was in another alleyway there, has come around to try and support. And very nice, they're able to take out the KV-3, but a Cromwell has been able to get through the lines and is now almost certainly going to be trying to flank around. So let's face it, it's not like there's any artillery for them to hunt down, so almost certainly going to be trying to go for a flanking manoeuvre instead. So just going for a cap here, as they seem to have lost on that far right hand flank. So just trying to get some bodies in the cap zone and force the enemy to come across and hopefully make some mistakes while they are moving in. But I know for a fact that IS-3 is still lurking about somewhere, and you've got to hold down Tiger 2 here, and the Tiger 2's got a pretty beefy turret. The only thing is he can't stay hull down forever, as they have the cap percentage up to 80 now, so someone is really going to have to come in and do something about it. Unfortunately, the guys are just hiding behind the fountain there, but still out in the open, so unfortunately getting themselves hit and reducing the cap points there. Just telling them to hide, but they're having none of it and getting themselves shot. But cap back up to 80% now, so hopefully nobody's going to get themselves shot. Everybody should be in a good hiding position, although I can almost guarantee that they probably won't be, because people are idiots. Yes, as you can see, up to 95% there, and then getting themselves taken out. Although it does look like that Cromwell, who managed to get behind the lines, is now coming in from the rear, and that's probably who is laying the damage down on them. Absolutely brilliant shot there, managed to get a good chunk of damage on that Ferdinand and then drop back before he's able to get any return damage. So not able to get a second penetrating hit and just trying to keep himself hidden, but not wanting to just totally hide, because yes, totally hiding is probably a good move, but at the end of the day, if he just totally hid, then the enemy would just barrel down the lane and be able to get in on the cap point and take them out. By playing peekaboo here, he's laying damage on them and making them think twice about poking out, but then also reversing in time to keep himself safe. Although he did take a hit from that Tiger 2, he's pretty low on hit points now. One more hit from anybody, in fact a good ram from anybody, would be enough to take him out here with only 47 hit points. Just going to try and take out either this Ferdinand or the T-28 prototype. Unfortunately not quite able to get a good hit on that Ferdinand, as he's got pretty substantial front armour. Luckily the VK was able to take out that T-28 prototype, so it just leaves these three guys in the lane here, in this alleyway. The two Ferdinands, sorry, just the one Ferdinand now, and an IS-3 with 700 hit points. And the cap is up to 40%, but it's just this VK and the IS-3 left. To be honest, if these guys were playing smart, because of the amount of hit points that the IS-3 and the VK have, they probably would be able to just rush around the corner and take them both out if they played it smart, because there's no way both shots will be able to take out that IS-3 and the Ferdinand at the same time. So if both of them just moved together and one took out one target, the other took out the other target, this would be curtains for the Allied team. As I said, the IS-3's got over 700 hit points, which both of these guys couldn't take out if they wanted to. Just going to have a little game of stalemate here. There's no rush. This cap is going up very slowly, only at about 50% now. So the IS-3 is just going to move himself out. Unfortunately gets his track taken out and misses his shot again. I think that's 3 shots I've seen this guy miss. Now the Ferdinand having the right idea, unfortunately the VK managed to reload his gun and take him out. He really should have waited for the IS-3. And then they both should have moved at the same time. Unfortunately getting a very sharp angle on the front armour of this IS-3 and unfortunately able to bounce. But there we get a good penetrating hit doing over 400 damage. And then just going to drop back again, because really it's on the enemy IS-3 to come forward and do the damage. If he doesn't, then he loses the game. And just totally outplayed by the IS-3 of Cocaine there. Getting himself taken out, 2 shots in a row, getting himself taken out. And I don't think I saw that IS-3 land many shots in that game. So absolutely brilliant clip there from Cocaine. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Absolutely nail-biting finish at the end there, ending with 47 hit points, but still managing to win the game for his team. So brilliant clip. Thank you very much for sending it in. Thank you to you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.